With the MLB trade deadline now 3 weeks away, teams are going to be pressed to choose where they stand before they know it. One of these teams has a surplus of a highly sought after commodity at the deadline, and they sit 5.5 games out of their division and 7 games out of the wild card as the time of writing the script. To who am I referring to? I'm referring to the reigning World Series champion Texas Rangers. The Rangers have had something of an interesting season so far, faced with pitching adversity and plenty of offensive struggles. Breakout star Evan Carter has not played since May 27th as a result of a back injury, and players like Wyatt Langford, Cody Bradford have missed significant time, not to mention that co-ace Max Scherzer missed the first 3 months of the season. With the Rangers facing something of an uphill battle and their division rival Astros finding their footing in the month of June and July, paired with the emergences of the Kansas City Royals and Boston Red Sox, the Rangers face a mighty uphill battle for a wildcard spot. General Manager Chris Young is in for probably his biggest task yet. Does he sell and look to retool on the fly, clearing up payroll for more additions in the offseason, or do the Rangers buy in what is looking to be a seller's market? Let's say the Rangers choose to sell. Who do they have that is an upcoming free agent? Yeah, that's a lot. Of their 10 upcoming free agents on the 40-man roster, a whopping 8 of them are pitchers. And all of these players offer value to playoff teams, so let's break it down into 4 tiers. Tier 1, the Aces. The Rangers are in a position not many teams find themselves in. They have 2 ace-caliber starting pitchers with ample playoff experience who are upcoming free agents. Max Scherzer and Nathan Eovaldi have each won rings in the past, and their playoff resumes are quite appealing to other teams. Starting with Max Scherzer, he has a 3.78 ERA and 3.92 FIP across 143 postseason innings in his career, striking out 28.7% of batters and walking 9.4. The right-hander, even at this stage in his career, is the kind of pitcher every team knows they want to hand the ball to in a wildcard series. Nathan Eovaldi, while being younger than Scherzer, is probably one of the best postseason pitchers of this generation, his efforts for the 2018 Red Sox and 2023 Rangers proving as such. Eovaldi has pitched on the biggest of stages, even in elimination games. In 79 2/3 career postseason innings, Eovaldi has a 3.05 ERA with 82 strikeouts in 17 games, 12 of them being starts. In those 12 starts, he has a 2.84 ERA in 69 2/3 innings. Both of these pitchers will definitely get the Rangers a haul and a half, as the teams in contention are probably going to desperately overpay to get one of these guys in pursuit of a World Series ring. Tier 2, the starters. The Rangers don't just have aces who could be available, as they also have a few other starting pitchers who could be in demand. Right-handers Michael Lorenzen and Jose Urena are on expiring contracts, as is left-hander Andrew Heaney. Starting with Lorenzen, he signed a 1-year deal with the Rangers in late March and has pitched to a solid 3.21 ERA in 15 starts, albeit with a less inspiring 5.05 FIP. Lorenzen has struck out 62 in 87 innings, but has walked 40 in that span. He's only on a $4.5 million salary for 2024, so if a team in trade talks might be iffy about his FIP, you could always say that the cost would outweigh the concern about the FIP, and potentially going to another really solid defensive team could help Lorenzen, especially in this seller's market. Andrew Heaney, like Lorenzen, is on an expiring contract, his being the 2-year $25 million contract he signed before last season. This season, despite leading the American League in losses with 9, Heaney has pitched like a solid middle-of-the-rotation arm, posting a 3.80 ERA, 3.82 FIP, and 1.24 WHIP across 90 innings and 18 starts. Heaney is striking out 28% of batters faced while walking 6.2%, a walk rate that is almost in line with his career-best 6.1 that he posted 2 seasons ago with the Dodgers. Heaney will be due a prorated amount of $13 million for the rest of the season, so the Rangers could possibly retain some salary to increase the prospect return, but statistically, Heaney is one of the top 3 left-handed starters likely on the trade market, and some could say he might even be the number 2 lefty starter on the market. So, yeah, that's something to consider. A lot of teams also don't have a lefty in their rotation, which is another thing, and Heaney's 3.62 FIP in last year's 11 playoff innings can certainly help his case. The last of these 3 starting caliber arms is right-hander Jose Urena. The right-hander is having his best season since 2018 with Miami, albeit in a swingman role. He's started 6 games, pitched in 22 games overall, posting a 2.78 ERA and 4.09 FIP in 68 innings. He's only striking out 16.7% of batters, but he's getting ground balls on 51% of balls in play against him. As mentioned, Urena hasn't been starting regularly, but in 16 games out of the bullpen, 14 of those outings have been longer than 1 inning. I considered Urena as a candidate for my low-cost starting pitching acquisitions video, but he's more of a swingman or a long reliever at this point. However, with pitching injuries being rampant around the league, someone like Urena could be a solid emergency 6th starter for a team in the hunt, and for those teams who are nearing the luxury tax, He's only on a $1.5 million salary, so the prorated amount of that would be a minor drop in the bucket for a lot of teams. Tier 3, the relievers. The Rangers sound like they could get a bounty for their starters, but let's also remember this team has one of the better late inning cores in baseball. There are 3 main arms that they could look to move, those being fireman Jose Leclerc, setup man David Robertson, and closer Kirby Yates. All 3 are performing admirably this season, and since each is a free agent to be, their performance so far could greatly aid a team looking to win a championship. Let's start with Leclerc. The Rangers' 2023 closer has been serving as a fireman role for Bruce Bochy's team, as he's gone more than 1 inning in 13 appearances. Leclerc struggled mightily over his first 16 outings of the season to the tune of a .688 ERA, but over the last 2 months he's bounced back, posting on 1.99 ERA, .361 FIP, and 14 scoreless appearances. Leclerc's ERA seems to be catching up to his FIP in a good way, and the right-hander is still a reliable late-inning arm, with all but 3 of his 35 outings this season coming in the 7th inning or later. Given his strong performances in the postseason for the Rangers last season, 10 scoreless appearances in 13 games, if the Rangers sell, someone like Leclerc could definitely be an arm that teams go after. Then we get to David Robertson. The now 39-year-old has pitched very well this season with a .303 ERA and .234 FIP across 38 2/3 innings in 37 games. The right-hander is striking out batters at an insane rate, matching his career 5 with a 13.5 strikeouts per 9, his best since 2011? Whoa. Robertson has succeeded in limiting base runners, be it by hit or walk, as he has a .95 whip in 38.2 innings. When it comes to playoff relievers, Robertson is one of the most battle-tested out there, as he has a career .309 ERA and 42 career postseason innings, the 4th most among active relievers, trailing only Kenley Jansen, Ryan Presley, and Aroldis Chapman. Also, 11 of his 42 appearances have spanned multiple innings, most notable of which being his valiant 3 1/3 innings of relief in the 2017 AL wildcard game. Pitchers with this kind of playoff experience have always been valuable. That's why Ryan Madsen got employed by so many teams, among other reasons, and Robertson could be one of these arms on the move. Robertson also has a mutual option for $6.5 million next season, with $5 million of that being deferred, so a team that acquires him, if they do trade him, would definitely have to keep that into consideration. But it can always be worked out. Last but not least, we have Rangers closer Kirby Yates. Kirby Yates is having his best season since his 2019 All-Star season with the Padres, putting up a .84 ERA and 169 FIP. Also, yes, he should have won 2019 Reliever of the Year. You can't change my mind. If you thought Robertson was being solid at limiting base runners, Yates has been even better, with the right-hander's .866 whip being 10th among AL relievers with at least 20 innings. If we extrapolate that to relievers with a minimum of 30 innings pitched, Yates ranks 7th in whip and strikeouts per 9, and 1st in batting average against and ERA-. Yates has ample closing experience as well as a good amount of work as a setup man, with his 2017-18 breakout seasons with San Diego and last season with the Braves being his time as a setup reliever. While Yates only has 1 postseason inning on his resume, his performances during regular season games could definitely net the Rangers a good return, especially for teams battling for bullpen arms. Tier 4, the outfielders. Outfield depth is always an important part of teams' trips to the postseason. Be it for defensive purposes or offensive depth, the Rangers happen to have 2 guys who fit this mold to a T, those being Robbie Grossman and Travis Jankowski. Grossman has been down this road before. He was traded from the Tigers to the Braves in the 2022 season. While Grossman hasn't had the greatest of seasons, the veteran outfielder still definitely possesses some solid tools. His slash line on screen may not look the best, but he's still walking 15% of the time in limited playing time, and while he spent most of the season as DH, mostly due to the Rangers' glut of young outfielders, he still has a solid arm in the outfield and slightly above average speed that could play well in left field at the right stadiums. Grossman could also be a good addition for a team looking for a 4th outfielder, a veteran presence, or even more OBP in their lineup. Then we get to Travis Jankowski. The 33-year-old has been a serviceable 4th outfielder for the Rangers over the last 2 seasons, stepping up big for them in the World Series, replacing an injured Adolis Garcia. While he hasn't replicated his slash line from last season, he's continued to be an above-average outfielder with the glove. He's only on a $1.75 million salary for 2024, so he's not really going to push a team over the luxury tax, and he isn't chasing really anything this season as he did last season, so he could be a good sort of pinch hitter, pinch runner, 4th outfielder type for a team. Now, all of my predictions for where these players will end up you will see on screen right now. These are my predictions. I had to remake this graphic after watching Foul Territory, as Max Scherzer explicitly said he would not waive his no-trade clause on his appearance on Foul Territory the morning I'm recording this video, but I will say that I initially had him being traded to the Padres. Honestly. Now, will the Rangers sell? I don't know. I can't say. I'm not Chris Young. But if they do, they would probably have a absolute monopoly on the pitching market, considering how many pitchers they could sell. With that being said, that's going to be everything for me in this video. If you've made it this far, thank you so very much for watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe down below. Let me know your opinions on these trades. I want to let you all know that only 1% of my viewers are subscribed, and subscribing is a big way to help me make more videos like this one. Again, thank you everyone so very much for watching, and I've got more trade videos on the way, so stay tuned. Again, thank you also very much for watching. On screen you will see more videos I made that you can go watch. That being said, this is Standard Baseball, signing off.